The incredible sounds we just heard are only made possible by the marvellous advances that continue to be made by our scientists in the discipline of the sonic sciences. The latest device to benefit from those advances is the one we just heard. It is the Sonic Frequencies Shaper. This incredible machine can take sounds and mould them and shape them and change them in ways hitherto unheard. It is believed that the way in which this device achieves those marvellous sound shapes is down to the mysterious properties of the glowing orb. No, it isn't. In reality, nobody really knows how the orb works and how it affects the sounds and shapes those sounds in the way that it does. Yes, we do. On your way. Oh dear. Yes, our friend there. The reality is that the Sonic Frequencies Shaper is exactly the same circuit as the Little Boxers filter, the VCF. It's just been reboxed. The design concept for the reboxing is based on the concept I've used before, which is for the Victorian inventor type concept, hence our friend there. But the inspiration for this particular build actually came from a musician friend of mine who has been a fan of synths and a keyboard player for most of his life. And way back when he was first starting, he loved the Moog synthesizer and the way that the filter worked and everything, and he had this kind of vision in his head that there was some kind of mystery and magic around the Moog filter. He did eventually get his own Moog synth, and he lifted the lid, and to his dismay there was not what he expected, and what he'd expected was this mysterious glowing orb, which was the magic that created that Moog filter sound. Yeah, okay. He's more of an artist than a scientist. In fact, he's definitely not a scientist. He is definitely an artist. He's a great musician, lovely guy. But yeah, he gets a bit embarrassed about not having a proper understanding of how these things work. But then that's why he's got me as a friend. Me being a friend, I thought, right, I'm going to give him a filter that at its centre has a glowing orb. Now, building a Moog style ladder filter is not that straightforward. If you want to do it properly and get an authentic sound, you get matched transistors and a whole palaver that goes around that. And I've not ventured down that alley yet, but the Little Boxers filter is really simple, works really well, and because it's got those two LEDs on the cutoff input, I thought, right, I could use the glowing LEDs, because as you turn up the cutoff, the LEDs glow brighter. So I thought, yeah, that's great, that would be a brilliant visual effect. So I wanted to build in this filter with the glowing orb. So the boxes, let's start with the boxes. Here we go. This is the box. The way I build the boxes, I don't buy boxes. I get my local hardware store to cut me the plywood to size, and then I do all the drilling and I actually cut out there. I'll show you how I did this. So if we have a look at kind of how I put it together, we've got the kind of old style boffin backroom kind of construction. So we've got the wing nut fastenings on the top to take the lid off. The knobs I sourced from a little shop that sells kind of recycled old electronic gear. So they're great, they fit well with the design. The mesh, I bought this, it's just brass woven mesh, which you can buy cheaply from the internet. So the thing, when you actually take the lid off, this is what it looks like. So you can see that's the inside of the box, which really just houses the orb and the battery supply, and then the lid of the box is where all the electronics sit. I'm not going to talk about the circuit itself because the circuit is exactly the same as the one in the little boxes filter, so you can go and check the link out for that and see how the circuit's put together in there. But what I'll show you is how I did the actual orb bit. So the orb is actually a ping pong ball, and I drilled holes in the bottom of the ping pong ball and inserted the two diodes that would normally be up either on the panel or even on the circuit board. I then needed to kind of house them in something, so I've actually used gold reflective cardboard, which I folded into a chamber, and then out of household electrical cabling, taking the earth wire, which is just a real solid copper wire, and soldered that to the legs on the diodes, which are now poked into the underside of the holes I drilled in the ping pong ball, and then they pass through the walls of the little box, the gold reflective box, and then there's a link wire that's soldered on and goes up to the circuit board. And that's it really. And as you can see from the introduction sequence, as you turn the cutoff up, the orb glows. So my friend, who has some of my other Victorian Inventor boxes which I've built for him in the past, can now add this to his collection, and okay, it's not the famous Moog ladder filter sound, but he now has a VCF that works with a glowing orb at the centre. I'm sure he's going to enjoy it.